Not every student thinks they will benefit from this whole concept of gamification. Some students may think that they score lower, so they're falling behind. So at times it will lead to some of the students thinking they are not good enough, and that would make them become less motivated. And then naturally, not everyone is that motivated.
Hello and welcome to Pmbs Hot Table, the podcast that we are going to dive into the world of education, innovations and student success. I am Muhammad Shukri bin Moda, your host for today's podcast, and today we are going to explore the gamifications in education, the topics that is so fun and fascinating. So we are going to unpack it, why it works and how it affects students' motivations and engagement. Even those lecturers or educators who are not that tech savvy, how that they can incorporate the gamifications in their classrooms. So I'm so thrilled to have two guests from Politeknik METrO Betong Sarawak. We have Miss Natasha Bija as well as Miss Hairunisa Hamiz, binti Hairi. Thank you for joining us in this podcast.
Thank you.
So we will start with the first segment. What exactly is gamifications? So let's kick things off with the basics. Natasha, could you please explain what gamification means in the context of education?
Okay, for me, gamification is like a game element in education where we use like point system, leaderboard, digital missions and challenges. So we use it to make the learning process or learning environment more attractive and motivating. Yeah.
So how that we can say it is different from the game-based learning?
Okay, great questions. Okay, game-based learning is like game in use of learning tool like education app and simulations. In the other hand, it's not require a game, but we use or adapt a games like
They are tracking.
Yes. Like playing game, but the earning points to get a score and unlocking the new level of content as they are.
As well as they are feeling content.
Yes.
That is sufficient enough for the students. And do you have any real experience regarding the gamification in learning Hairunisa?
Okay, in some of the hospitality courses that we taught before, we introduced something like a team-based competition through a long week hotel simulation program. So through this learning process, in the teaching and learning process, we divide students in a classroom into groups, and they will compete against each other. So they would the simulator is about the hotel management. So let's say each group is given the task of the hotel reservation team, and another group is in another, let's say, kitchen team, maybe. So from there, they will run through the simulation, and then they would see who does better in each department, and then they would rate each other, and which team earns the better marks, that team will be the winner of it. So that is basically the gamification in the subject that we taught.
They can also enhance the competition level.
Yes.
Okay, now we move on to the next segment, which is why is gamification so motivating? I believe that when students involved in the gamification process, the learning just not only becomes more attractive and interesting, the student can also feel motivated with the students' effort to be involved and also to include themselves in the learning, also in the lesson.
Okay, for my view, gamifications is like motivations where a student can achieve their,
Recognition.
Yeah, recognition and autonomy, where students can see their progress in the level of the learning, so they can feel the sense of accomplishments in their level. That's
So that
powerful.
sure they receive rewards.
Yeah,
from the-
correct.
yeah. So it's like internal or external rewards is depends on the student itself and also the lecturers. And Miss Hairunisa, maybe you have something to add on.
Okay, for me, gamification, it helps students to reduce their fear of failures. So it basically, in general, gaming is about losing halfway of it, okay, and then everything. But still, you have the chance to try again or restart the level that you've lost before. So it gives students chances to retry and then to do better again in the next part of their learning process, basically. So in a way, it tells students that it's okay for you to fail some parts. It does not finalize you as a student. It's the process itself actually that teaches the
Yes.
student more as they
Because it
go.
is a likely formative assessment.
Yes.
It's not included in your
Yes.
carry
marks and everything, yeah.
whatsoever. So this is totally different from the traditional context of learning, when one bad grade can really demotivate
Yes,
students. So the main focus in the gamification is the persistence and also the students' progress in learning. So maybe Miss Natasha, you have something to add on with
Yes.
the motivation.
Exactly. Please, as a lecturer, don't underestimate the terms of having fun in learning process. Because when students having fun, they'll more likely engage deeply into the course. So let the learning process or learning situation, there's something student want to do, not the things they need to do or have to do.
Don't force
Yes.
students because if they believe they are willing to do that, we have to trust
Yeah.
trust to themselves. Okay, next we move to the third segment: classroom experience and case studies. Let's go deeper into some of the actual experiences. Maybe before this, you have gotten some experiences from the use of gamifications. So maybe you can share to our listeners out there about their experiences, or maybe your appointment whatsoever.
Okay. Before this, we introduced something like a mock hotel simulation. So in this mock hotel simulation, students are, like I said just now, they are divided into teams. So each team will be divided into different departments in a hotel. So from there, they would they will be tasked to different roles. For example, the hotel reservation department, they would have to deal with the customers department, customers booking and everything. And then at the same time, they would have to deal with customers complaints, of course. So in that context, let's say one of the student is playing the role of a customer, and then another student is playing the role of the hotel reservation officer. So there, the customer would do something like a complaint, or like something that they're not satisfied with the system or something, and then the student that is in charge of the reservation system, they would have to see how should they handle the situation and everything. And then the marks will be given by the student who is playing the role of the customer just now. So basically they are rating each other, and then whose team has the better marks, that team will earn like a team badge or even win an award or something at the end of the simulation. And then it's great actually to see this one, because some students, they get too immersed in the roles that they even dress up as the bellboy, they even dress up as the receptionist, some of them even dress up as the chef and everything, just to fit in into the roles and everything. Yeah.
It's like a role play.
Yeah, role
Yes.
play simulations.
It
Yes.
sounds incredibly engaging.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
Natasha, you have something to add.
Yeah. In one of my tourism classes, we do the same thing. We do the role play simulation where me as a lecturer, we create where the student playing a role play, like they create a travel agency or a company, travel agency company. They learn how to sell how to do a ticketing, adapt with the system, Galileo Amadeus, and the things like hotel reservation or even dealing with visas and everything, so they can adapt with the real situation where they learn how to adapt with the real situation in working life in future. That's a really good gamification in education, so the student can learn how they can adapt with the environment, working environment, in future.
And how that they responded to the task that you give?
They are given the 100% commitment, and then they just like
with minimal
yes.
Okay, to all our listeners out there, so we are going to have a short break. Okay, stay tuned and we will come back to you later on. Welcome back to Pmbs Hot Table. Now we are going to discuss deeper about the gamifications in education context. So I believe that gamification also possesses some challenges, shortcomings, or even some things that can make errors while we are using it. So maybe both of you have some ideas or views regarding to this misconception and how that we can balance the fact while using the gamification in learning and also in the lesson.
For me, one major challenge is the time. The time where we want to plan and design the system, because we need to align with the game element itself, which it will affect the learning outcome, where the student need to anticipate their reactions, and we as a lecturer need to monitor the progress between them
accordingly, right?
Yeah.
We have to monitor and also to supervise them accordingly from time to time, or else they will get missed so easily when using the gamification. Also, Miss Hairunisa, you have something to add on?
I think another challenge is that not every student thinks they will benefit from this whole concept of gamification. Some students may think that they score lower, so they're falling behind. So at times it will lead to some of the students thinking they're not good enough, and that will make them become less motivated. And then naturally, not everyone is that motivated actually. So what we introduce is that we encourage them to work more in groups. So like I said just now, most of the games that we introduce or the simulation that we introduce, it involves team simulation. So it allows students to work very cooperatively with one another, and then at the same time, in terms of their study, if their group scores better, and then they can also score better as an individual.
It's part of the reflection.
Yes.
It's part of the reflection from learning. Maybe the lecturers or the educators out there, just while using the gamification, can give rewards.
Yes, correct.
To increase the satisfaction of the students while using the case whatsoever. Right? So next we go to practical steps for educators. So we will talk practical. For lecturers who are interested in trying gamification, where do they begin?
I would say that it's better to start simple, start small, start with little steps first. So the most basic, I would say, quizzes from Google Forms. So lecturers, they can first introduce the students to short quizzes on Google Forms, and then some of the forms that allows you to mark the students based on how much they get from the quizzes. So that one would be the smallest step, I would say, that could lead to something bigger in terms of the gamification.
I think that Google Form is so accessible for everyone. So everyone just need to log in and then try to use it. It's very convenient.
Yeah, it's free actually.
And then we have also some methods like quizzes and right? So maybe Miss Natasha, you have some ideas about the practical steps in gamification.
Yes, I do agree with Miss Hairunisa. We also can use other platform like Kahoots, like Classcraft, even just like where they can monitor the score, where the student can
student finish and then
Yeah, we can see how they score. The education at the same time they play a game. So don't forget to explain the purpose of the study itself to your student to let them know why and why they are doing that.
Because the gamification is not conducted.
Yes.
It has objectives in reality, right?
Yeah.
So try to tie back with the learning outcomes, okay?
yeah.
Because we believe that it is not a formative assessment. This is just only a formative assessment, but it can also enrich the students' learning abilities, right?
Yes.
Especially when involve the complex and also technical subjects.
Yes.
Next, we go to the segment 6, the future of gamifications in education. Where will you see yourselves in using the gamification? Might be in the next 5 to 10 years. It might be not in this polytechnic, might be in other institutions.
I think I can see me in 5 years in future. I can see we can use AI-driven gamifications where the content and the challenge adjust dynamically to student behavior and needs, personalized by the learning journey itself, and also we can monitor the progress between them. According,
AI,
yeah,
cannot be left behind.
yes, AI in AR.
Yeah, really controlling ourselves, right? So with AI, the things can become more sophisticated, and also attractive in features. Actually, maybe Miss Hairunisa, you have also some experiences, and also what will you expect in the future in using gamification?
I think personally, I'm not against anything like augmented reality or AI, things like that. And then maybe we can just keep on introducing and then enhancing the games or the simulations that we have. We've heard before about how pilots become pilots through simulators, and then why not make people in the hospitality industry to experience the same thing? So maybe they can start from higher educational level first, and then through the simulations and everything, we can introduce something like AR, AI, and then virtual reality, things like that. So they can like experience something. They don't have to be at the place exactly the hotels. They can just like experience this through the augmented reality, things like that.
So there must be more things to be researched about the gamification in learning, or as some people might be misuse it.
Yes, correct.
So we have already come to the conclusion of the end of our podcast. Before we wrap up, final thoughts. Do you have anything to say to educators out there, those who are still hesitant about gamification?
Give it a try where you can just no need to be an expert.
Don't be that so advanced. Start from the bottom.
Start from the small step, just like Cik Hairunisa just now saying that. So it can, in learnings, at the same time we can bring the game-inspired excitement where the student can learn.
Make a small effort with big difference.
Correct.
Maybe Miss Hairunisa?
I would say it's best to listen to your students. Their feedbacks, I think, would be the most precious feedbacks that you could hear. Actually, you can see how you can improve from their feedbacks, and then plus I would say the main objective is that to let them know. So it's their feedback that counts the most in this concept of gamification. Yeah.
That's perfect way to close out our discussion. Thank you very much, Miss Natasha, and also Hairunisa, for sharing your insights, your thoughts, and also real experiences about gamifications. Okay, so to all our listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember that learning is a lifelong process, and we must not have to stop from learning. So I hope that you are leaving us with some practical ideas and also useful benefits from the use of gamification. Till next time, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.